Quack.
Quack.
Quack, quack,
Quack.
quack. Dubs down. Quack.
Quack. 12 and -1. This is the Quack 12 podcast, the most official, unofficial Oregon Ducks sporting podcast on the web footosphere. And Aaron, we are...
Nope.
Oh,
I'm Adam Chimeo.
I'm Adam
You're
Chimeo.
Adam Chimeo. I'm Aaron Schroeder.
That's right. All right. So
Did you say I'm your host, Adam Chimeo?
maybe not. Maybe not.
Right.
It's, hey, we're officially past the regular season. We
Buddy,
don't need
you might
these
be
formalities.
You might be wondering, why is Aaron wearing such a goofy hat?
What
And I'll
is-
tell you why.
Okay.
Because the sun is shining and I'm sitting in the shade, baby,
Oh.
because we cleaned house.
Yes, we did. The doghouse, that
Relax time, as far as
Mhm.
I'm concerned.
Ladies and gentlemen, burn down your doghouse because we beat the Huskies. We beat the Washington Huskies. And let me tell you
Punks.
this. Because, we were favored in this game. We never trailed.
Begrudgingly.
Yes. We were absolutely the better team. I think even the Huskies, even the most diehard Husky fans would agree to that we looked better on this day. It was close, but still, Oregon was clearly the champion. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
But,
I mean,
Uh,
close theoretically.
yeah, theoretically.
Watching it, it didn't feel close. It felt like we had shut down their offense from quarter one.
It felt like even if they were to take the lead, we were still going to win that game. Even if they had a fourth quarter lead. But I'll tell you this. Just like with the Beavers, you never really remember, no matter how much the game is in the bag before you play it even, you never are reminded how much you hate someone until the game starts and you realize, what if we lose? What would I feel? And I would have felt, imagine if we lost this game. We're out of the playoffs. Huskies end 9-3. We end 10-2. We're probably
Wouldn't that be ugly?
yeah, they get bragging rights. We're probably out of the playoffs, most likely. We're either a really low seed or probably we're going to a bowl game and we don't give a shit about that bowl game.
You're talking theoretically. still.
Theoretically.
Okay, thank the Jesus.
We have essentially clinched a playoff spot. There's no
Good.
way an 11-1 team who their only loss is to the number 2 team in the country that's undefeated is going to be left out of the playoffs when we play in the Big Ten.
Did I also, speaking of standings, did I miss the memo? Yes, Aaron.
Yeah, you
That
definitely did.
the Aggies were way up there?
Oh, Aggies were absolutely. They were I forget exactly what they were. I think they were number 3 or some shit, dude. They were undefeated. They were 11-0 with big wins, including over Notre Dame and such. And then, final game of the year, they lose to the Texas Longhorns
Because
they
the
do.
superior team always wins.
Yeah.
Aggies they're a joke, dude. They're farmers.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Literally. Quite literally.
You know what? Those nerds learn how to make GMO seeds or how to make satellites that surveil us. That's all A&M is good for.
That's right.
Agriculture, military.
And paying coaches they fire. That is it. That was a great game. I watched that game. That was huge for us. Got us a step higher in whatever poll is going to end up being. And that whole week, that whole rivalry week,
Yeah.
it just goes to show you it really doesn't. Sometimes you really do just have to throw the records out, as Solid Verbal says, because people are just playing with so much more passion. Auburn, Alabama should have walked away with that one easily, but that ended up being a lot closer. There was a handful of other games too where it was sometimes the rivalry just ignites something in these players.
You gotta love it, dude.
Ohio
That's what
State,
football's all
Michigan
about.
was close for a minute, but Ohio State ended up just completely destroying them. Ohio State's looked the better team every single year, but they had lost the last, I think, 4 years in a row to Michigan, including last year, which was a major upset. Ohio State still appears to be the Death Star. They are clearly the number one with a bullet team. But that being said, man, we got a win over the Washington Huskies to talk about. Could not be more stoked. To start us off, let's listen to the first part of a series.
Oh, boy.
A new limited series that we're starting on the podcast. This is called Drunk Aaron.
When do I get to have my say on this?
After this first one.
Okay.
I've had 4 long hammer IPAs, and I am starting my 5th. Thank you very much. But also because, you know what? These fucking announcer bros are starting to cheese me out, man. Like, very annoying. They are talking so much anti-ducks, right? Am I the only one seeing? Am I hearing that incorrectly? Anyway, could you imagine if this was the podcast? If I was just like, yeah, let me get loaded, and then I'll come on the show. Boy, I wouldn't want to be you. I don't want to be you right now, because you have to listen to this. But anyway, I'm fairly decided that we are going to win this thing.
Was looking for confident?
And, fuck these Huskies, dude. They're playing like pieces of shit.
Hell yeah. Usually when Aaron's calling me that wasted, it's like 2:30 in the morning. He's like, where you at? You up? But this time, this was during the game.
This wasn't even at halftime.
This wasn't even at halftime. We got plenty more message that will be sprinkled throughout the episode.
And everyone should understand.
Mm-hmm.
I don't actually really drink all that much.
You really don't.
It just seemed like a really fun thing to do for the game.
Yeah.
And then because, you're watching football, it's a big game. I'm in the rivalry city. And also those long hammers are like 6.4 ABV.
They'll get you.
So the fact that I had 4 in a short, I did not realize that's how potent they are.
We'll all realize it. We got more clips to listen to throughout the show. Don't worry about that.
But to Drunk Aaron's point, he's correct about something. Because quite literally, before the game even started and the little panel of talking heads are picking who they think's going to win, one of the dudes literally was like, yeah, I hate to agree, but I just have to pick the Ducks on this one.
Well, he's probably ex-Husky. I don't know who was talking. I believe they picked all Ducks.
Good.
Yeah.
Because that's the intelligent thing to do. You don't have to pepper on, I don't like having to pick this.
Mm-hmm. This game went the way a lot of people thought, as in because Oregon's injuries and just in general offense hasn't been the strength of the team this season. It's been pretty dang good. Let's keep that in mind. But we are more of a defensive team, I would say. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, we are I think we have weapons on offense that make you have to never count us out, regardless of the injury stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a matter of how much can you exploit the unplayed players because of injury. Does that make sense?
I totally get that. And
because we are if we have less than 4 yards on 4th down, we're gonna go for it. We're gonna get it. You have to understand that about us, and that's like always gonna hurt, no matter what you're doing.
It's so we had our 2 star receivers out. Fortunately for us,
I thought we were receiving well though.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We'll get into that. We still
got.
It goes to show our
steady.
depth. Our depth is absolutely insane and something we've never fully had at this level, maybe ever for the Oregon Ducks. But one thing So we're out the 2 starting receivers, and our offensive line was really banged up with World, with Poncho, with Harkey, all missing time, throughout the USC game and such, and getting injured a couple of them during that game. Except all of them played in this game, which is a really, really great sign. Both that they were like fired up for the rivalry, but also that they were healthy enough to play this game. And they all had a great game, honestly, especially in like the pass rush and like protecting from the pass rush. But they were clearly injured too. I think is clear. Like they're still playing hurt, which is kind of, again, one of the reasons why it's really nice not to play in the Big Ten championship game this week. Is that we actually get 3 full weeks of healing. Who knows who's coming back for pass catchers, but a lot of people going into this game were like, okay, so we got an injured Duck team who, even when their offense has every weapon, has at points struggled against better defenses, have come out mainly victorious, but have struggled specifically for this offensive line. And then they have a really, really good defense. Meanwhile, Washington, their defense has been pretty solid as well. And their offense has struggled outside of like their key players, who's of course like Williams, their QB, Denzel Boston, their star receiver, who was questionable going into this one, as was Jonah Coleman, their star running back. But those 3, it's like, these are the 3 that are going to beat you if the Washington Huskies beat you. And they had all been really good at home. So it was like, let's see how this is going to go. And both teams knew the other team's strengths and fought against them really well. Whereas Washington was like, the Ducks are not, sometimes Dante Moore's been rattled, at least in the one loss, and so we would rather him, especially with the injuries to receiver, we would rather them try to beat us through the air if they're going to beat us. So we are going to take away the run. And they did a really good job of that. They did an absolutely good job of limiting our awesome running backs. Meanwhile, we were like,
we were still effective running though, right?
I mean, for what the game ended up being, I don't think we were necessarily bad running the ball, but we were way less effective. We were not getting the 4 yards.
It wasn't as, what do you call it, explosive as it normally
Certainly not as explosive. Like, it was far and few between any explosive runs. And even the efficiency runs weren't what we're used to getting.
But it did feel like we were doing a good job of, like, clock burning, staying on the field.
I think for me, I think it was good that we didn't abandon the run, because even though it wasn't doing great, it made it so the play action was way more effective, and it also just made it so they always had to have it in the back of their mind that it was like, they aren't just passing. We can't just, and for us, we were really concerned, as one should be, against Washington. Damon Williams Jr., he's not the best pocket passer, but he's really good at scrambling. He's really good at getting time so that these receivers and such can be open, and he's good at picking up what you'll give him on the ground. There was nothing for him. Like, what did he end up with the sacks? That always confuses things, but 10 carries for 27 yards, and that was mainly because we had a Dylan Theinerman on his ass. Like,
I think we affected that man's psyche in this game.
Oh, absolutely. I feel like you could see it on his face. That
each team also had a pretty devastating sack. Each team both had one sack where it was like, ow, that looks like it fucking hurt.
The one for them was by, I believe, true freshman, Nasir Wyatt.
Yeah,
that was the one where he was doing like the little naked bootleg, like trying to learn trickeration, and Nasir Wyatt just sniffed it out the entire time and like a
Blasted.
devastating hit.
Blasted it. That one I went, damn.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to ask you, do you think they got the best sack of the night because of that one?
I think that was the best sack of the night. I mean, Dante Moore.
You hate
also,
to say it, but it was like, dang.
Yeah.
That dude's hungry.
Yeah, Dante Moore also got hit pretty freaking hard, but I think that was the best sack of the night. And we got to shout out. This has been known now. There's T-shirts made. The CCU, that is the Caucasian Collision Unit. That is Bryce Betcher and Dylan Thieneman.
You know what? We just gotta let them have it.
Let
They're
'em have
having
it.
fun.
I love it.
You know,
it's funny.
I will-
It's the exact thing where I think a lot of people thought this, where it's like, hey, that's funny as hell. I get it. What power to you, whatever gives you, certain kind of power,
Right.
Yeah, but
not Caucasian power.
maybe
for
not
Christ's
Caucasian
sakes.
power, but maybe just the power that you have on the football field. Like nothing wrong with it. I thought it was very funny, but I was thinking there's going to be the wrong type of Oregon Duck fan who just makes their own Caucasian Collision Unit shirt and is
Dude.
wearing it for the wrong reasons.
It's funny because it does sometimes feel like when I'm watching the Ducks defense, I am watching that the Legion of Boom era Seahawks on the field where they all want to be the most ferocious.
Oh, yeah. Like our defense.
So it's funny they've
freaking
come up
rules.
with a name
Yeah.
for their little
Yeah,
their white
Caucasian
group.
Collision Unit. Give it to them, dude. Are they not the Caucasian Collision Unit?
And you know what's good about it too is that it's done. Like it's just they created it now. It won't exist next year because Betcher won't be here.
Yeah, Betcher won't be here. I don't think Thieneman will be here either.
So it's like, you know what? Yeah,
Thieneman.
let them have their T-shirt, make some money on the side.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they should sell. I don't even think they're selling it. I think there's 2 shirts and they have them. They should sell it, though. Well, again, maybe we shouldn't sell those.
Oh my God, these nerds!
They said they're going to get one for Dante Moore, even though he's not really part of the Caucasian Collision. We're hoping he's not colliding into anyone. But anyways, Bryce Betcher and Thieneman both, like, Betcher had 10 tackles. Thieneman had 7.
golly.
And a sack and a tackle for a loss. I guess those are kind of the same thing. But our defense is truly, if we're gonna win an Natty this season, which is the goal, obviously.
Yep.
If we're gonna win a Natty, it's because our defense
Elite.
is so freaking good, and our offense, our offense is good, but our offense was like clutch enough to take what the defense gave them. I think that's clear. They're really, like, right now, especially seemingly clicking in. They are a very knock on wood, a very healthy unit, and they've been just an absolute blast to watch. Now, the other thing that's really cool that you got to give up for the offense is that even with the injuries, 2 top pass catchers plus just in general, we are going to like we still had some major talent out there for catching the ball. Obviously, Malik Benson, Malik the Freak, they're calling him. So many people are the Freak, but after this game, why not give it to him? Malik Benson, 5 receptions, 102 yards, 1 touchdown. Of course, there was the main one, the 64-yard touchdown reception, in which he was just by far the fastest man on the field. Amazing.
By far.
Oh, my Lord. He was completely surrounded by them at one point and just...
Yep.
He really had a great game. Had some clutch catches when we absolutely needed them the most. We weren't very efficient on offense, but we had a lot of explosive plays. A lot of them ended in field goals, but hey, those are points too. Also, Jeremiah McClellan had a great game. 3 receptions, 78 yards. You could argue 4 receptions because right after Dan Lanning said that we needed to nut up or shut up, he had that catch,
Dude.
which I want to say is a catch. I don't care. What do you think?
I do think there should be audio of what I think.
Oh, yeah. Good call. Let's pull this up. Here's the second one. I don't know if this is the exact moment, but we'll find it.
Yeah. Also, fucking Dan Lennon just said nut up or shut up. Bro, nut up or shut up. You just said that shit on TV, baby. Oh, that's a catch. That's a catch. That's a catch. He used his helmet.
The exact moment. The exact moment.
Oh.
So
That
clearly
was-
you thought
I think
was,
that's
yeah.
the coolest catch ever, and it is a catch. I will die on that grave. That was possession.
The moment that it was clear, just like he used his helmet clearly for a second, but then like on the recovery, like that thing's still fucking in his hand.
Yeah,
very
but I mean,
firmly.
even when it was on his helmet, it's not doing this.
No.
It's not going like that.
Yeah,
it's just
not bobbling. Yeah, it was an amazing, I would say, catch. If they ruled it a catch, it would have been a huge. Like this could have been maybe a blowout. Yeah, truly awesome, especially like for the timing, for like we're down so many like we needed him to show up, and he has showed up so big. Also, got to add this: Jamari Johnson, the basically second tight end, but only second tight end because Kenyon Sadiq is so amazing, is so freaking talented. And to have to deal with both of these, that it's not a situation where it's like, okay, Johnson's in now, so we know they're not going to have like a freaky, super athletic tight end pass catching threat. It's like, no, he was amazing. A couple great catches from him. And then like every other pass catcher in this, it's like this is truly like the depth of like, these are the people that will catch the ball. Like outsides of the people who are injured right now. Noah Whittington got a catch. Kenyon Sadiq got 4. Jordan Davison, De'Aaron Hill Jr. So that's 3 running backs. Jamari Johnson, that's 2 tight ends. And then Malik Benson, Jeremiah McClellan. Like, we're getting into the like bottom, quote unquote, bottom of the barrel of who can catch the ball. But these are still like, this is still some of the best talent that's ever been on an Oregon Ducks roster.
Yep.
And that's what building a team, constructing a team is all about. There's a lot of teams. Like if this happened to USC, if their 2 top receivers, if like Lemon and Lane were out, that team would just be donezo.
Done.
Like, yeah, maybe they make a bowl game.
What was our pass catch ratio?
Overall, Dante Moore was 20 of 29 for 286
That's
yards.
awesome.
And a touchdown.
Right?
No picks. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty dang good, man. Again, considering everything. And
Maybe that's why it always, maybe because I had a little bit of the libation, so much of the tight end stuff I was picturing as runs because it is short yardage, constantly being picked up.
well, you mean this guy had some libations?
Nope. I fucking hate these announcers. I hate these Huskies. I hate these Huskies fans who are making these Huskies announcers react. It's absolutely bananas what is going on this field. I hope you are saving all of these audio messages for the show.
No.
Because I do want them on the record because
What?
I need to have myself checked, but also retrified.
Retrified.
That's the correct word.
Don't know.
Do you feel retrified?
You can't trust drunk Aaron to say things because I've sitting here this whole time going, golly, do I want, before when you told me you still had them, I was like, do I want these on
You
the
told
show?
me to
This is like
save
a
them
bad
and play them on the show.
But then I literally gave you permission.
You told
Let me tell you
to.
this,
You wanted
everybody,
to be
dear
retrified.
listener. Yeah, dear listener, I want you to know that I was when I went to walk the dogs at 5 p.m. I lost my phone.
Mm-hmm.
So then me and Uli had to go and find it on the walk. We found it at the furthest point away from the house, oddly. But then we got back home, and I think within 30 minutes, I was asleep, which makes that like 7 p.m.
Yep. Yep. By the way, I cut it off a little early, but at the end you say, I love you. So I love you too, Aaron.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, you said it. You said it. You were drunk, but you did say it. And it means the world to me. So as far as rushing, we only got 2.5 yards. Again, this is adding Dante Moore. So with the sacks, it's college blows with this weird stat. But
We
2.5 yards average.
of rushing.
But if you looked at each running back, it was like Noah Whittington, 2.8 yards average. Jordan Davison, 2.7 yards average. So it's like not quite enough to build off of. But the bright spot is, and I think this is the bright spot of Oregon's future. Like this may be a player that you can truly build a team around. De'Ara Hill Jr., who's just been amazing all this season as a young running back. He was still getting 4.8. He only carried it 6 times, but 4.8 and like looked ferocious. Also got 2 catches for 15 yards. I don't think.
Do you think that's because when Washington saw him on the field, they were like, "Oh, well, clearly this is the pass. They never used that kid."
No, I'm sure they know all 3 of our running backs are absolute threats. They were really targeting the run. They were like, which makes perfect sense. I mean, it kept them in this game.
Yeah.
And we should say, like, this was a 1-score game late in it. I think into the fourth quarter, right? Yeah, in the fourth quarter. This was like the crucial moment, it feels like. So
There was
fourth quarter.
Yeah, go ahead.
They go on a 13-play, 69-yard drive that ends on 4th and 8 at the Oregon 13. They connect with who else but Boston. It's going to be Boston. For a score. That makes it 19-14. I don't know about you, but I was absolutely sweating it at this point. This was like the moment.
Oh, dude, if I had sweats, it was beer sweats only because I know for a fact I was talking mad crap.
Yes.
On the announcers still.
Yeah, you hated them. Absolutely hated them.
About how much they kept talking about the Huskies being able to make it come back. And I'm like, there's no way. Like, that took them forever to get those points.
Mm-hmm.
If we can make them take that long again,
Mm-hmm.
there's not enough time on the clock for that to actually be reasonable as long as we keep the ball for as long as we've been keeping it.
Yeah.
And run it down and, move it down the field.
But so it was 19.
I had no sweat on this game. I was lit.
I was a little worried. It was 19-14. There was a little under 9 minutes. We had an incompletion, a 1-yard run, and then it was 3rd and 9.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, if we don't convert this, Huskies get the ball under 8 minutes. We only got a 5-point lead. This could be absolutely gut-wrenching, But then was the play, one of the possibly the best play of the season. I don't know if it's like the best catch or anything, but definitely just one of the most fun, explosive plays brought from a man who had the best explosive play the game before, Malik Benson. He returned that kick or punt. I can't even remember. I think punt against USC. And in this had the insane 64-yard, just super speedy. And from there, the game was essentially over. It was 26-14. Sure, they had 2 drives, like Washington had 2 drives, but it just felt like it's amazing you've gotten these 14 points. Because that first touchdown was right before the half. It would have been nice. There was that whole weird 10-second runoff thing that it would have been nice if Dan Lanning. I don't know if he was looking to get the ball back and score. There wasn't much time. I don't know. That was kind of a brain fart. Denzel Boston, that was his first score. But and then there was
Wait, rewind.
mhm.
Hit me with that sequence again.
That it was right before the half.
Yes.
They were marching down the field. There was a penalty on Washington, and
Yes.
it was
We
the kind.
declined it.
And we declined there's like a 10-second runoff that could have happened. So taking 10 seconds off it's just kind of in it was an illegal snap or something. I don't know. It was kind of the play. Personally, I don't think it's that big of a deal they didn't decline it.
Yeah.
Because they would have been calling different plays if they had 10 seconds less. And
Right. It would have changed the downs as
Yeah.
well.
Who knows? Who knows what would have happened? But they ended up scoring there, and then they scored, late in the fourth quarter on their best drive, basically. But other than that, because they had that early drive too when we were up 3-0, when they were marching down the field, and we should shout out because this guy could be a problem in the future. As Adam Muhammad had a great game, and honestly, I think a lot of Duck fans are very grateful that they did not decide just to turn the ball over to him and let them be just a downfield running kind of team, because Adam Muhammad had 14 carries for 105 yards, was averaging 7.5 yards per touch. We were more focused on the passing game and keeping Williams contained, but he was eaten, and it felt like they were gonna maybe take the lead or tie the game really early on when we were up 3-0, but then they threw that horrendous pick, such a bad pick.
I mean,
good play from us, but also just bad idea.
It's so funny. I guess I just never really considered them to be a threat to us.
It was technically a one-score game, but after that, it felt like it was done. Ends with a nice pick. Gotta love that. Thieneman ends another one, just like he did against Penn State. A little less dramatic, but.
And you know what,
and then
too?
maybe game ball, secret savior of the whole season, Atticus Sappington, a.k.a. This has been the nickname going around. You ready?
Yep.
Automatticus, because he's automatic, baby. Gets 4 of 4 on field goals.
That wasn't just a nickname you came up with and texted me?
No, I did text you it, but I got to be honest, I did not make it up. I saw it in a thread.
Oh man, I thought it was great. I thought you did it. You should just own that.
I made it up.
We have text proof of it.
We'll edit this out. I made it up. It was me. We've got proof. Also hits a 51-yarder, which I believe is his career high. God damn, dude. This was a good game. There was a couple strange penalties on us. One was Dalen Austin, who, complicated player. Dalen Austin, when he was trying to, I've seen other teams try to do this, and it's always stupid as fuck. It's never going to work out. When you kick it and you want, and they wave it off, and they want you to touch it so that they can hop on the ball and it'd be a turnover. So they grab you and they try to push you into the ball. It's that's never going to work.
Yeah,
It's
that's not a game
work.
plan.
It just gave them yards. And then also there was Harkey got called for an unsportsmanlike, because he was just kept driving a guy, drove him into a cameraman.
Hey.
But then he pointed at his ear, and it made me think, I think that he was just so in the zone that he didn't even know he was out of bounds and didn't know the play was over, is my guess.
Yeah. There was one where we got called on something after a play. But they were on the field. And honestly, the Husky gave us a little shove first, and our dude just responded.
Yeah.
And we're the ones who got picked on for it.
Sounds about right.
That one annoyed me. But it's also it does make me wonder, what's fun about Dan Lanning is that with every game, he's gotten a little bit looser about how he talks on mic,
Yeah.
I feel like.
Not up or shut up.
Yeah. And I do feel like this guy is building little soldiers.
Yeah.
And maybe he should also teach them yoga because we
mean-
need to have cool heads at all times. We can't be one of those teams where we allow emotion to take over when the whistle blows, if that makes sense.
Makes perfect sense, my man. Maybe that'll be the next Ducks versus them theme. He's like, yoga.
The playoffs are about zenning out.
Yeah, he would show a clip of like Jean-Claude Van Damme, and he'd be like, "This is where we need to be."
cop.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, overall, great win on the road in a really tough environment where not many teams have won as of late. We get the W. We're in a really good spot, most likely for the playoffs, where we don't get the first week bye, but we get a home field against a team that we should be heavily favored against.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome.
Before we move forward, I have one final question I was hoping I can get.
That's it. Well, we also got to, hold on. First, we got to do this. We
Oh.
still have some.
Oh, boy, this is going to get bad.
Didn't take long, less than a minute, 64 yards because of this guy. Yo, those are Kendrick's next big lyrics.
That's after the play.
Funky commercial break.
Yeah, that was after the big Benson catch. And then I got a couple more, but let's play this one. We'll save the last
you have
one.
to remember when you painted that play a little bit earlier,
Mhm.
it felt like it had a tinge of fear on it.
Oh, yeah.
Where what Drunk Aaron just denoted was like it took zero time to put way more points on the board, and it's taking them forever to do it.
Yeah, we were all explosive plays. I did love that one drive too that Dante Moore led. That we did get away with a little bit of a hold on that pitch,
That's fine.
but it's gonna happen. It's
Let
gonna
'em play a
happen
little
to our
chippy. It's
opponents
fine.
every once in a while too. They were not interested in calling holding in this game, clearly. So, but Dante Moore, again, and like they said this on the cast, they're like, he doesn't like to run, but
Yeah,
there are
When
times.
they said that, I was like,
Well, that's part of it too, right? Is like
but
the other team
they don't
knows
get to say that.
The other team knows he doesn't want to run. And so there's so many times this season where it's like they're having to think about, okay, Jamari Johnson's over there, Malik Benson's been killing us. McClellan's over here. Maybe they'll run the ball. They've been doing that well. And then all of a sudden you forgot about Dante Moore and the fact that he can run. Like Dante Moore running in for the score was awesome. He said something to the camera that I wish I knew what the hell he was saying.
Oh yeah, he gets in real close, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, that was awesome.
that was really good. I had no idea. It was kind of muffled and hard to understand, kind of like this.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yep, kind of like that.
That's post game for sure.
Well, you don't really have to explain any of it because
That's a donkey.
you explained it there. Why a donkey? Do you know that?
I might have been thinking about Shrek. You
Yeah.
know,
Enough said.
I don't know.
Aren't we all?
Also, dude, I had 8 of those beers by
Ooh.
the end of it.
Oh, you were swimming.
I was swimming. Uli was so great at making sure I was safe. And then I passed out. I've not done that in a long
Pretty
time.
early game too.
Wicked early game.
Started at
Luckily-
12:30, so you were swimming by like 4.
Luckily, no, because I walked the dogs at 5,
Mhm.
and I tell you this: the whole walk I was blasting Charlie XCX Brat on my phone.
Nice.
So how I lost my phone is still a mystery to me because it was blasting Brat the whole time. But
Someone
that's
was
at
like,
5 p.m.
Some
was
guy
at
was
5
like,
p.m.
wow.
I'm walking through the neighborhood being a menace.
Someone's like, hey, I think you just dropped your phone in that sewer. And you were like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I love it.
But yeah, no, luckily the only shenanigans I seemed to have gotten into was it's the only thing I do not remember was that at some point I texted the neighbor to see if they wanted to
fight?
also go on the dog walk, the night walk, as I call it.
You're like, I assume you're fucking wasted too, right?
I'm sure at that point I was like, I feel totally fine. I'm completely sober.
I can drive. I'm good
I've never had better ideas.
I mean, hey, they made it to the podcast today. So we get 11-1 victory, one of the absolute best seasons we've ever covered on this show in our long history.
I did never get to answer or question my
Question your answer?
I never got to ask my question.
Let's hear it.
I was just curious if you had any stats or anything on our secondary because you mentioned it and I wanted to bring it up. It seemed like we were all over the receivers and doing a great job at not getting penalties.
I would say so. We only had 5 penalties. 2 of those we know were like stupid, whatever. We had that one really strange pass interference, which I'm like, what the fuck ever. Okay. I don't think that should count. We held them to 15 of 30 for 129 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions.
Okay.
I mean,
because I felt like it really was one of the best performances of the year for that squad.
I think so too, and I think one of the reasons why Muhammad had such a good day on the ground is because we were focusing on the QB running and scrambling, and we were focused on downfield. And then it was like, you got to give him something. And us playing against these future, hopefully multiple future really talented teams, they're only going to be good teams from now on.
Huskies are coming up.
Oh, wait, what? Oh, yeah, Huskies are good, but I mean like these next teams in the playoffs.
Oh, I see. Right. I thought you meant future seasons.
Yeah, the only, you can only address so much. You can't take away the passing and the running and the QB. Right? Like, you can only do so much.
Mm-hmm.
You want to usually try to take away their best thing or whatever. Like, we can't win each game the same way. But I think this season has proven to us that there's a lot of ways we can win. And one thing that you can be sure on is really good defense will give any team a shot to win any game.
Right.
And so I think that's what we got to hang our hat on. It's literally one of the best defenses we've ever, probably, I would say, really tough to say, but probably the best defense we've ever covered personally for the Ducks. We started this in 2017. Maybe that 2021 squad that won the Rose Bowl, maybe you could say them. That was a pretty awesome
Who was on
defense.
that squad?
I'm not gonna remember any of these names. But a lot of NFL talent, like Christian Gonzalez, I believe, was on that, and Diamador Lenore.
Oh yeah, remember him?
I mean, now I gotta look it up, but no.
Oh, I'm sorry, I did it to you.
2021.
I do think I will say it has felt every year, especially since a proper coach showed up. It has felt like every year the team just gets more exciting to watch. And I do think that is in big part because the defense just keeps growing.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah. Which 2021, that would have been the year Lanning showed up.
No, I don't believe so. Cristobal was still our coach there. But I think at
What a
the end
doofus.
of that season, I think we hold on. See, now you're throwing me off.
I'm
Now
doing
I'm fuck.
everything
You're
you want.
totally right. I guess I meant the 2020 season
COVID season?
that ended. Wait, now I don't even know. Oh, I mean the 2019 season. See, don't listen to us for
Look what I did to you. Dang,
know.
edit it out. There's
Nope.
no way this is
It's
going to
all-
make
it's
it into
all
the show.
staying in. The 2019 season that ended in the 2020 Rose Bowl. I was a little off.
There we go. Okay. See, this is not your fault. This is the program fault
No,
because
It's definitely my
they
fault.
should call it the season that it begins in, not the year it ends in.
Sometimes that does throw me off, but that's because I be a dumbass. See now I'm looking it up. Now you're actually making me look it up. 2020. Fill in some time.
Okay. Well, here we go. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you are still tuned in, I would like to let you know that a buddy of mine down in Tejas and I we're currently in the building blocks process. We still got to come up with a name, but we're going to begin a radio show. We each come with a big pile of music. We play it at each other. We talk about that music with each other. And then at the end of the show, we cover new releases each and every week. This will be beginning in January of 2026, which whenever I say January of 2026, I mean it. And I'm not actually talking about something that began in August of 2025. Because as you can tell, when you do stuff like that, it messes with my boy's heart and his head.
At this point, I don't
can't
even
be
know.
having that.
I don't
because
even know
I'm-
what I'm looking up, but I could tell you, had Thomas Graham Jr., Diamador Lenore, of course, Troy Dye, Jordan Scott,
Dude, Troy Dye.
Fat Mac, remember him?
Dude.
Brandon Dorless. So these are like some great names. It's actually cool to see these guys again. It's
Dude,
been a
that
while.
defensive line.
Yeah. Not as good as our defensive line, I'll tell you that much. But like the secondary is pretty dang good. Jamal Hill, Verone McKinley III, Brady
I remember
Breeze.
all of these names. as you
Brady
say them.
Breeze, speaking of Caucasian collision unit.
Yup.
Yup.
Dude, he was
Yeah.
that
Popo
was, you're right.
Amave.
You nailed it. I'm glad we looked it up because
Remember Popo?
every single one of those names brings back fond and beautiful memories.
Yeah, remember Popo? Austin Fialou?
Yes.
Yeah, like so there's some NFL talent there, but I think our entire defense, the combo of like senior leadership like a Bryce Betcher and like amazing talent that'll be like seen on the next level, like I think it's hard to match. This
That's
could be our
also-
best defense ever.
That is the season where football began to make sense in my brain.
When did
I think
you
maybe
lose it
that's the
again, then?
season I actually was like, I'm going to watch a game.
I'm gonna watch a game of football. 3 years.
Remember how
into-
this show began?
3
with the
years
premise
into
that I
our
would never watch
podcast.
football?
Yeah, 3 years into our podcast. Speaking of football, Aaron. First
Yo.
of all, shout out to speaking of NFL Ducks. Watched this happened a couple of times over the years. It's pretty sweet because the
Sweet.
Ducks have put so many awesome QBs into the NFL. Is that I got to watch Marcus Mariota lead the Washington Commanders in an effort that ultimately fell short, but against the Denver Broncos led by Bo Nix. I think a lot of Duck fans were watching this. This is the game that eliminated me from my fantasy football, so that sucked. But after that was made clear, I was just watching it. I was definitely rooting for the Commanders and Mariota because it's like, he's had such a long career, like pretty tough backup, but it's always been like still pretty dang good. Almost won this, took it to overtime, was one play away from winning, but didn't. It was tough to see him not win, but it was still cool to see. It's like he's still got something. Like there are teams that would have Mariota start for them right now if they could. So I hope he gets another good year wherever. I know Commanders fans love him there, even as a backup. They freaking love him.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so it was really cool to see that. I just wanted to shout that out. But, Aaron, this is huge.
Huge.
This is the end of our regular season Pick'em Challenge. Today. We will find out the results right fucking now.
Wait, real quick.
No,
Tell me
right fucking now.
Okay.
No, let's hear it.
I was just going to say, should we now do the season wrap-up? Only because we're 11-1. We're not going to the Pac-10 championship.
We're
That's
not
news
going to the
me.
Pac-10 championship, unfortunately.
Why not? Who is going?
Well, first of all, it's the Pac-12. And now
Yep.
the Pac-2. But no one's going to the Pac-12 championship because it doesn't exist. Wazoo is, I guess, because they beat Oregon State.
The Big
Spoiler
Ten
alert.
championship. We're not playing it.
Big Ten championship, we are not playing. That will be Ohio State versus Indiana. Number one
and are
versus
either of
number
those
two.
teams?
What's that? Yeah, number one versus number two in the country.
Right.
For us, personally, I think it would be better because we don't have that much to gain.
So wait,
What?
if one of them loses, does that mean they're out of the playoffs?
No.
Right.
I'll tell
So
you,
this
this
game
is
is-
a weird situation that a lot of people have talked about where it's like these conference championships were made at a time when there was not a playoff.
Right.
And it's getting to the point where like last year or like kind of like Oregon this year. Sure, if let's say we made it, let's say Ohio State would have lost to Michigan and that means we're in and it's Oregon versus Indiana. That would be pretty awesome. And let's say we beat Indiana. We could have been possibly number 1 or 2 in the playoffs, and that is a good spot. We get a bye. That is cool. But it also, and other teams are seeing this, it also behooves you to not make the championship game, not play another one, and play a way easier game at home. Like, for some people, that makes a lot of sense.
You know what the equivalent is
What's that?
to division championship games? Are the same thing as in the basketball tourney where you're not good enough to go to the real thing.
Mm-hmm.
So there's this shitty one.
Oh, yeah. The NIT or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but it still count. Like, it is different because it's like the NIT that if you win that, you're the 69th best team. Congratulations.
Yes.
That's as far as it goes. This is like...
But you might get a banner.
Yeah, but do you even hang up that banner?
Yeah,
You
dog.
do. But anyways, you wouldn't be able to make it to the March Madness, you know. This
Right.
is like a different, easier. It's just kind of like begs the question, like, what's the point of these conference championship games, kind of?
Heritage,
Except for the
tradition,
fact
America.
that for some conferences, winning that is such a good resume thing, or it automatically gets you in.
Yes.
Yeah, because it's like the
I
top
think-
5 champions, or 4 or 5, I think. I forget.
Like in our specific example,
Mm-hmm.
the best thing it did was it was us walking into a conference
Yes.
and just ringing the fucking bell.
It was awesome, and we did.
And
get,
it's like, yo, that's what they're designed for.
yeah.
The first year team decimate you.
Well, and this is huge too, because like for Indiana, if Indiana were to win this game, already they've had a huge historic season. That
Yeah.
would be to date the biggest game of their entire history, I do believe. I haven't looked deep in Indiana
So,
football lore, but
You know, so this is like,
yeah.
this is the bargaining power of the division championships, is that it comes down to tradition, time.
They just got to
history.
figure out a way to make it mean a little more and stuff like that. But also,
I think
yeah.
the obvious answer is division championships should be counted as first round playoff games.
Something like, I mean, it almost is in a way, is what they're. I don't know. It's
Right. Exactly. That's the problem. It's like, bleh.
They got to figure it out, or just get rid of them. Like, who cares?
No.
But, so because that way it's
tradition,
like
history.
everyone's at 12. Dude, tradition means jack fucking shit in college
America.
football, apparently. So as far as who we want to win, it really doesn't matter. Whoever loses is still going to be, I believe they should, ahead of us in the polls. We're going to be 5 or 6. I think we're basically destined to be somewhere in there.
And we have a game, not this coming Saturday, but the next.
No, after that. We got 3 weeks, dude.
We got 2 weeks of just chilling
We've
by the
got
beach.
3 weeks of not us playing football.
Sun, shady, and
Yes.
sugar pops. Let's go to Hawaii.
You're going insane. Yeah, Quack 12 will be going Hawaiian. But, yeah, so Ohio State, Indiana, it'd be cool if Indiana won, but who cares, really? It would be cool that it's like the one team that beat us went 13-0 and beat Ohio State. It shows
That's
something.
incredible.
And it also
That's
showed that
rad.
Ohio State is mortal, which would be nice to see because
Yep.
they look possibly better than last year. Let's get into it, though. Let's get into these picks.
Okay. But first, a commercial break. And we're back on Quack.
Quack, quack. Aaron, this is the results of, hey, what could be our final Pick'em challenge ever if we win the freaking Natty this season. I'm going to...
Oh, right. I see.
If we win.
This isn't the final time we're doing it, but maybe the
Every
final season.
Pac-12, I mean, we got the bowl bonanzas still. Every single Pac-12 team here, they all played, which means we've got a lot to cover, but some of these were blowouts. Some of these were not very interesting. Let's start her off with you.
I might have a loophole on how we can keep this podcast going after a national championship win, by the way.
Well, that's all I want. I want this podcast to go on as long as possible. In this world, it's not the curse that brings me back here every week. So Utah, number 13 Utah took on Kansas. At this point, when they played, I believe this is a Friday game, they were still in the race for the Big 12, which is pretty cool.
Okay.
All they had to do was beat a pretty bad overall, a 5-6 at the time, Kansas team. Kansas team that's been looking pretty rough. Utes came in. They were actually down by 10 at one point in this game, but they rally from behind. Devin Dampier for 253 yards, 3 touchdowns, really led the attack here. A 97-yard interception return for a score also helped, and the Utes won 31-21. Despite their second straight game of allowing a whole lot of rushing yards. This one was 290 rushing yards allowed.
Dang.
Yeah, no, like Kansas was getting it for a minute. But the Jayhawks fall to the Utes, so they still had hope. The Utes still had hope to try to get in there. They needed, I think they needed Arizona State to win, I guess. I'm not quite sure. It's kind of weird. But the Territorial Cup decided if ASU lost, then for sure it was going to be BYU versus Texas Tech, which is kind of definitely what it feels like it should be regardless. Those were the clear 2 best teams in this conference. But because of all the math, we didn't know. Territorial Cup is always fierce. Normally these teams, they're not very good. But this year was a kind of a historic, like, holy shit, both of you are legit, like at least pretty good to decent to great, maybe not great, but pretty good teams, honestly. So that's a rare one. Arizona State, always plucky. Kenny Dillingham always seems to find a way, even with his, Levitt, his starting quarterback had been out for a while. Sims was coming in, not the most polished QB, good runner, was getting them some W's, had them still in the race to try to make it. Arizona, however, with their defense, also having a really good season. and they win with that defense. Arizona forced 5 turnovers. You're going to win the game. If you do that,
Wow.
you're going to win the game. They forced 5 turnovers. And keep in mind, ASU beat them 49-7 last year. So pretty awesome
Well,
turnaround.
last year seemed to be a trash fire season, right?
Trash fire season for Arizona and a legendary season for ASU. So they kind of just,
Swapped.
Yeah. This was the biggest territorial cup since forever, like I said. And, yeah, Jeff Sims threw like 3 interceptions, went 11 of 25 for 114 yards. And let's just say the patented Arizona Wildcat turnover sword, which is like a cactus-shaped sword in which they put deflated balls. They stab them. They had 5 of those balls on that.
Wow.
Sword. So way to go, Arizona. They're going to play. They're not making the playoffs, and they ruined ASU's hopes of making it there, which is awesome, honestly.
Is it possible that that's way cooler than doing push-ups after a touchdown?
I mean, yeah.
Do we need to do something like that?
Some kind
the
of
Duck
turnover
needs to
thing.
switch it up.
The last time we had something like that, I remember we stole, because like Miami had this really cool thing that was like a turnover chain, and it was like a bling, had a U, and it was like, you get the chain if you do the turnover. And Mario, because he's so obsessed with fucking Miami, they just stole that, and they had an Oregon chain, and I was kind of like, it'd be cool if you thought of it, but you didn't freaking think of it, so whatever. That's the last that I can think of. And then we had a championship belt. I remember that. We had like a WWE. I think we did. I kind of can't even remember. So we got to think of something as cool as that. That's unique.
We must best it.
Yeah, the Beavers have a chainsaw, the turnover chainsaw. That's cool. Even though I don't know why a beaver would need a chainsaw, but whatever.
More dramatic.
Yeah, we got to think of something like that. Something duck.
Could you imagine if the beaver just picks up a stick and starts going?
Yeah, I mean, yes, I can.
That might be menacing as fuck. Actually.
That's what beavers do, actually.
Yeah.
So Arizona, congrats! They're gonna get a high-level bowl game. Pretty cool. Then
That's rad, man. Fun for them.
There was.
Remember when I used to hate them?
Yeah, you used to really, really hate them.
It's the things I do for the show.
And now you love them, I guess?
I was never really hating them. I just, you got to do things for the show.
You really do, don't you? Now we had Colorado. Colorado's a bad team. Can we agree on that?
I think I didn't want to agree for a long time, but I do think it makes the most sense logically.
You certainly were choosing them for quite a bit. Colorado got absolutely just
demolished,
as they have been doing over and over and over this season. Against Kansas State. Kansas State was desperate for bowl eligibility. That's mainly what they wanted. And they were projected to actually be like a leader in the Big 12. Everyone thought it was probably going to be theirs for the taking. Instead, with this victory over Colorado, Colorado is 3-9, and Kansas State gets that 6th win. Joe Jackson rushed for 142 yards and 3 touchdowns. That's mainly how they did it. It was 32 degrees out there too, so it was a cold one. And Avery Johnson, their like leading quarterback, he is Kansas State for them, went 10 of 17 for 115 yards. Didn't do great, but led the effort to get them to a bowl game, and even said afterwards, like, I just feel so happy that I get to play one, because he's a senior, one more game with these guys. Like, that was his goal in this game. So good for them, but Colorado, they're in a hole, especially because it's like Dion's there. I don't know how he doesn't seem to be doing all that well now that his son isn't playing, and his health. Like, I don't know what's to happen to Colorado.
Yeah, I think there's a lot more under the hood than we are qualified to, hypothesize on.
Are we qualified to do any of this, Aaron?
I mean, I think you've been a great host.
Oh, and I would say the same for you. I would, if I could. Now let's get on to Wazoo. That's the real shit. The real Pac-2. The two-pack.
Oh, baby.
conference.
Please tell me it tied.
I desperately want to tell you that this was an interesting game.
But it wasn't.
But it was not. It's
You would
interesting
exactly
that
like-
Oregon State beat them at any point, if we're being real, like they did when they matched up earlier, because Oregon State's truly one of the worst teams ever this season. But once they got to Pullman, they turned into pumpkins. They ended up losing. Wait, what the fuck? ESPN app is the worst app in the world for sports.
It's almost like you have a button that you press every week because that sentence comes out.
Yeah.
What?
I hate it. 32-8, they beat the Beavers. And honestly, it wasn't even that close. Again,
That doesn't sound close at all.
No, it wasn't even that close, though. Wazoo, they've had such an up and down season. They've had like highs of like almost beating Ole Miss and almost beating Virginia, like, you know, a couple like playoff possibly teams, and then losing to the Beavers. But in this one, they kick some absolute ass. They get to a bowl game, which seems like a huge win. Not since 1945 had these two teams played each other both in one season. So
Wow.
just to show how weird of a situation this is for them. And it's not going to happen again. We should say this, though, at least. Oregon State hired themselves a coach, Jamarcus Shepard. Jamarcus Shepard, kind of like a assistant coach. He's been for following around Kalen DeBoer, assistant coach / like QB coach, helping with the offense in general. He was with him at Washington, and then he went with him to Alabama. Now he is their head coach. Overall, a good hire, especially in a coaching
Pedigree.
carousel where like every good coach is getting snatched up, which then makes it so those teams then have to fill in their vacancies. It's a tough year to be looking for a coach. I think this is a really good hire.
If it was a tough year to be looking for a coach, you should tell every team that because they've all fired their coach.
No, exactly. It makes it harder and harder and harder.
Oh, right, because sure.
It makes it so you should just be like, you know what? Our coach fucking sucks and our fan base hates them, but maybe we hold on to him for one more year just because there's at least a couple of teams that are doing that. And honestly, it does make sense.
Do you think we're about to get a different kind of, and I know this is like going to be hard to explain, I guess, but it does seem like the fundamental way that the game is played is, I think Dan Lanning did a good job of shifting the way the game is played or thought about. And it seems like there's a couple of other new coaches that are also playing different playbooks than what we've all been used to forever. Do you think that's like a big wave that's about to happen? We're about to get a big shakeup just in the general...
I mean, in the way that not necessarily schematically what they're doing is crazy different, but like in building a program.
Well, that's what, because that's where we're at. Football has hit the point of statistical analysis. Hithliday is a perfect example.
Yeah.
There are computers that these guys can just grind stuff into, and it's like, and this is how you win. So it's just a matter of playing that little.
Well, I would say it's like less so than the X's and O's. It's more of the Jimmies and Joes. And in this regard, especially, what's completely changed is that it used to just be, okay, there's these 10 teams. They are the best at paying their players and getting them to the NFL and doing this. And they have the best teams. And even second and third stringers are still possible NFL starters. That stockpiling of talent is way less common. Like, yeah, we have
because of NIL money.
Because of NIL, exactly. And not only that,
That's
So,
what I'm seeing.
Yeah,
Thank
these
you.
coaches are being better, like especially the coaches that are better at utilizing that and building programs. Like honestly, Indiana, Kurt Signetti is a great example of this. 2 years he comes in there, completely changes everything, and it isn't just money, Like Texas Tech is kind of doing that too, where they were like, we decided we're gonna spend so much money, and we're specifically doing it on like the D line and defensive players and different, not necessarily only the QB, like all these other parts, and it's helped them out so much.
Right. There it is.
It just goes like the spreading of talent. Also, like you can expect more from a coach quicker, which is sometimes insane, but like, yeah. So I do think the landscape's kind of changing.
Okay.
And for Oregon State, they're the terrible position they're in. At least next year, they're going to be in like a real conference. Like the Pac-12 will actually have more than 2 teams, and it's essentially going to be the Mountain West. And, maybe they can be competitive in that. I think they got a good hire. Even if it doesn't work out, it's at least a good hire. Like, so yeah. Then
I like to think that the firings happened because, like, the boards of directors of different colleges were the laughingstock of their social circles because none of their friends betted on their teams or bet against them.
Yeah.
And so they're like, that's it. I'm tired of this. You're fired.
I mean, could be. There's some crazy shit going on. I mean, for
Anyway.
example, we don't talk about this because it's not in our conference, but Ole Miss's coach, Lane Kiffin, he's the talk of the town right now because he is a really, like, hot name, and, like, the biggest names are, like, this guy is a really, like, he is someone who can come to your program, immediately build it up, immediately make it competitive, seemingly on any level. So let's go for this guy. So Ole Miss, they are, I want to say, I honestly can't remember if they've lost or not. I think they've lost at least one game. I can't quite remember. I think they've lost one game.
At least one.
But they're for sure in the playoffs and like are, a contender to win it all. And he's been building them for years now. But Louisiana State, they hired away Lane Kiffin. And Lane
LSU?
Yep. LSU hired him, and he's already accepted. And his big thing is he was trying to coach Ole Miss while being hired away. But Ole Miss, obviously, like their players and stuff, and like the higher ups are being like, you're just going to use this as a recruiting tool to steal our players and our coaches if you let us, if you did this. So no, you can't do that. And like the players even were against him, like, fuck you. Like,
So Ole Miss is going into the playoffs without him?
yeah. So it's like they won't have they have an interim head coach, like, so it's interesting times. Let's get into this though.
Dude.
USC took on UCLA, both wearing their home uniforms because that's the tradition they have, which honestly I like that tradition.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
I think we should do that. We don't really have
Brothers.
home uniforms. We have 100 million different combinations.
But
for home
dude, didn't we
uniforms.
look so
We did
fucking
look sick. At least
primo.
we're wearing some green and yellow.
You can't beat it. We just need to stop with the flashy, reflective numbers. Like,
Yeah,
geez,
that's kind of
just
how I feel.
give us
If it's green and yellow, I freaking love it. That's where I'm at. Makai Lemon, Jacoby Lane, the 2 star receivers, 2 best players on their roster for USC, both were benched due to disciplinary reasons for the first quarter. Who knows what that
Wow.
is? That's some serious stuff, though. I
That
feel like
is.
that's like showing up late to a team meeting or just like not showing up at all or something.
drunk, fighting
Yeah.
in the locker room.
Thinking you can get away with it because you're like, we're not making the playoffs. It's the final game of the season.
I'm partying.
We're your
tonight.
star players. Who cares? But he did bench him. And UCLA, they looked worse for it. UCLA had a small lead going into the half, but then things completely turned around. Like, it wasn't even wasn't even close after that. I mean, I guess it was somewhat close, but in the end, they won 29-10. UCLA was blanked in the second half, possibly because Nico Yamaliava was playing with a neck injury to begin with. He was power to him that he wanted to play, because it's a rivalry game, because he had nothing. They weren't going to a bowl game even if they won this game, so it's like power to him.
We're hurting our babies before they even having a chance to grow up. It's
exactly
crazy.
So USC is undefeated at home with this win. Tim Skipper is probably not going to keep his job as UCLA's coach. I'm sorry, Aaron. I know you love the name, but he's not. So UCLA is improving, though I'm not sure for the long term because, again, the roster construction seems a little weird, though I do believe they have the number one recruiting class coming in next season if everything holds. I do believe. So got to watch out for USC. They're always a sleeping giant. Let's see what happens. Then we had Cal. Cal had one of the most exciting, if not the most exciting game, I would say, out of all these. They are in the ACC. They've had an up and down crazy season overall. A quarterback I love in Sanga Polutele, as you know. And in this one, they had a 31-14 lead late, but then end up still having to play down and having on a go-ahead score. Like, they were down. They had to get it to win. They were down by 3, I do believe. And or 4, actually. In the end, my man Sanga Polutele rallies them and gets the win. Gets the score. Also, my other player that I love, De Jesus, he's freaking amazing. He's a great receiver. He's a senior, so I think he's gone. I hope he's not because I really like watching him play. 12 catches for 97 yards. He was crucial in this game. And it was a 75-yard, 7-play drive in the end that won him this. Sanga Polutele goes 31-40, 333 yards, 4 touchdown passes. Also, Kendrick Raphael got the 2-yard touchdown score in the end. Did he? I don't know. The refs, maybe they shouldn't have called it. But technically they called it. Put him up. SMU misses a field goal, which could have sent it to overtime. SMU gets knocked out of the ACC championship game because of this loss, which sends 7-5 Duke in their place.
Weird.
7-5 Duke will instead take on number 18 Virginia. And if you want pure chaos,
who do we think's gonna win that game, Adam?
Honestly, I don't know, dude. Because Virginia played a very easy schedule. I mean, they're in the ACC, so they're all kind of easy. But Virginia's a little bit of a paper tiger, too. Like, they're an easy 10-2. Duke is not great, but, I mean, Virginia is only a 3.5 point favorite. So if you want the true chaos, root for Duke. They beat Virginia.
Root for Duke?
They're the ACC champions, and that may make it so no ACC team makes it into the playoffs even.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, I kind of want that. That would be
I kind of
hilarious.
want that too. It'd be really funny.
I mean,
so
especially when you get to say, I want to root for Duke.
Root for Duke. Way to go, Cal. Way to go, Duke. It also may make it so, like, some way we get an even easier opponent. There is a possibility, so I like that. Final one was Notre Dame versus Stanford.
Right.
I got nothing to say besides Notre Dame kicked Stanford's ass. 49-20. There was an 84-yard pass on a fake punt. So Notre Dame was just stunting on them hoes. Jeremiah Love, their star running back, did get hurt in the first quarter. Didn't play, I don't think, after that. He did say he could have, though. Like, it was just precautionary.
Sure.
Makes sense. We should say this, though. Stanford also made their hire for a new QB, for a new coach. their old QB, Tavita Pritchard. Back, he was kind of like Andrew Luck's backup. Had a legendary game, one of the biggest upsets in college football history when they beat USC back in the day. Yeah, but Notre Dame walks away with the Legends Trophy. So there you have it. Now,
Legends Trophy.
Aaron.
So what does all that mean?
The Ducks, we both chose the Ducks.
Right.
So all that, there's all that. Okay. Now, as far as the picks are concerned for last week, I had a pretty big advantage. 62 to 58. I had 4-point advantage.
3.
I'm seeing 4. I think 3 was the week before.
You keep fudging these numbers. I tell you. Every
got
week
it
you
here,
come in
buddy.
Slightly changing it.
So, we both chose Utah. I chose Arizona State. You
Yeah.
chose Arizona.
I got that one?
You got that one. We both chose K-State,
Yeah.
which ended up being right. Barely, but we ended
You
up being
finally talked me off that Colorado tip.
right. Yeah, I did.
Finally.
I chose Wazoo because I have common sense. You chose Oregon State.
Because I believe in miracles.
Yes, foolishly. I chose USC because, again, you believe in miracles. You chose Cal, though, which is fun. And both of us chose Notre Dame. Both of us chose Oregon.
So it's
which
a wash?
leaves us it's a wash. I have the lead 68 to 64. However, Aaron, there is one last thing that needs to be calculated.
The over-unders?
The over-unders.
Dude, bonus points.
Each one worth 5 points.
Holy crap, holies.
Right now, I've the lead 68 to 64. Okay.
I'm not joking. If you've been listening to this podcast the whole season, you know that I keep bringing up what my over-unders were because I'm so fascinated by it, because I've done good once.
We'll see.
We'll
We'll
see.
see.
Let's see if I can do good twice.
Now, overall, so this is what we got. We had Stanford at 3.5 wins, which they did not make. No, they did make, actually. They did get 4 wins.
They got
went
4?
over, and so you made me do this thing, too, where you also said specifically a number of how many wins they would get, which
That's
you did
right, I
not
remember
have
that.
to do. You did not have to do that.
Right.
Um,
It's like in baking show when they do 3 things and then the judges are like, we literally asked for just the potato and you gave us all this other stuff and it sucks.
Yeah, exactly. Tune in for our next podcast, the Bake Off.
Yeah.
It's just called Bake Off. So you went with 4. You actually nailed it. You literally said they'd win 4 games, and they did. So you went over. I went under.
Wow.
California 5.5 wins. Keep in mind they got 7 wins in the end. You said they would get 7 wins. Over. I went under.
Wow.
Oregon 10.5 wins. Both of us said over. You say they'd go undefeated. They did not, but I digress. USC 7.5. You went under.
Yeah.
Both of us went under. We were both wrong. Washington 6.5. I went over. You went under. I was correct.
Right.
UCLA 5.5. Both of us went under. Both of us were right. ASU 8.5 wins. I went under. You went over. I was correct because they got 8. Colorado 6 wins on the dot. I went under. You went over because you fucking love those Buffs. You love them. You got yeah.
I got wrecked.
You got wrecked there.
You were just
Utah.
like, I'm Amtrak, and you are that thing that goes like this to move down the track.
Yeah, whatever that is. Utah 7.5 wins. You went over, which was correct. I went under.
Oh.
Arizona 4.5 wins. You went over. I went under. Let's keep it going. Oregon State.
Wait, Arizona, who was correct?
You were.
Oh, thank you.
Oregon State, 6.5 wins. Both of us went under. Both of us were very correct. Now, before we get into this last one,
Did I not give exact numbers on any of those?
You did 4 for the last one, and you were wrong for the other ones.
Yeah.
Actually, for Utah, you may have been correct because it was 9 wins. I forget exactly where they went up.
But I don't. It does. But I don't get any additional points for that.
No, you don't get any additional points for any of these. I think you No, Utah got 10 wins, so you're wrong there. We also had very specific season predictions.
Oh snap!
I said Dante Moore wins the Heisman. He got close to maybe being nominated, but he's not winning the Heisman.
No.
And then you said most special teams return touchdowns in college football history.
Correct.
We had 1, so I think we had 1. Maybe we had more than 1, but we definitely didn't have the most in college football history.
We had
For the final
1.
result, Wazoo, 5.5 wins. Both of us went over. We were both correct with 6 wins, which leaves us with the final tally at 5 points correct each. Adam got 7 correct choices. Aaron got 8, which gives you 5 points advantage, which means
I won by a point.
you won by 1 point. The Great Pick'em Challenge.
Wow! Thank you, everyone.
This is a slow, sarcastic clap.
Yeah. Oh, I see. It took me a long time to get here. I want to thank, of course, Herb's House for supplying me with all the medicinals that I might need in order to make such predictions so acutely. And also, I'd like to thank Adam for setting up the point system, so that way I might actually have an opportunity to win.
Jackass. Yeah, my man, you did it. It's a big day in Quack 12 history. So now what we have is just the championship games coming up, which the Ducks will not be playing in. I mean, I could pretend like I don't want to play. It would be pretty cool if we could have made it in one, but the rest is pretty awesome too. Like the actual not be having to play. We got Duke versus Virginia in the ACC championship. Number 2 Indiana versus number 1 Ohio State in the Big Ten championship. We got number 4 Georgia versus number 10 Bama, which I believe we want Bama to win.
Okay.
Because of the chaos, basically. They already have 2 losses. I think it would just be good. We got Miami, Ohio versus Western Michigan. Doesn't really matter. Number 11 BYU versus number 5 Texas Tech.
Whoa.
That's an interesting one. I think we want BYU to win.
Tech, 100%.
Well, we want Tech to win. I mean, as far as helping us out, I think it would be more advantageous, but who cares? Yeah. And then Boise State takes on UNLV. Amazing Boise State got there, but they're back into the Mountain West Championship.
The University of Las Vegas?
Mm-hmm. And then as far as the G5 contender, it'll either be like North Texas or James Madison. I don't know. Regardless, we made it. We've earned some rest. Next week, we'll talk about how all this shook up, where we are in the playoffs, what we can expect, who we're going against. We'll talk about the teams in the playoffs that we may face. That'll be a big one. And we'll talk about how our days were. Maybe
none of that stuff has been released yet.
Not yet. We got to wait for the championship games.
Oh, right. To understand the full picture. That's right. Duh.
Absolutely. Aaron, what a season. What a season.
What a season. What a ride.
What a ride. What a long Strange trip
it's been. Do you think it went by faster than normal? Because I do. It really seemed to zip right by.
Felt just as long and stressful as ever for me.
Huh.
Yeah, stakes
Isn't
were
that
high.
interesting?
Yeah. Yep.
Well, I had a great time doing it. I look forward to the postseason.
Whee! And on that note, we'll see y'all next week, Quack 12 fans.
Quack, quack.
Bye. Quack.